What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to just ask more sort of people how they would invest their money. So three specific amounts. So if we had sort of a beginner investor with a pot of, let's say, 30K, how would you go about investing that into the UK property market currently?
Goodness me, you're working me hard today, aren't you? Okay, so if I had 30,000 today to invest, I would try, and it's difficult, but the great thing about buy-to-let is that I would go buy-to-let, to be honest with you, to start with, because to make any real money out of anything else with a 30,000 deposit, and that's all you've got, it's very difficult. Because don't forget, you've got not only have you got to buy the property, if you're going to buy and sell a property, you've got to be able to buy it, you've got to refurbish it, and you've then got to be able to sell it. So if you've got 30 grand, you're going to use that 30,000 probably as a deposit to start with, and then you're not going to have the money to do it up. So if you've got 30,000, what I would try and do is go for 75% loan to value. I would try and pick an area of the country that I believe is, do your research, believe it's got some angle where it's going to improve. Or I'd go for a very high yielding area and then pay the mortgage off as quick as I could to then go and buy another one. So, you know, remember the property market in the UK has gone up 5% a year on average for the last 20 years. And bear in mind, there's been some blips along the way. Now, like I said before, it's a micro market. So some areas may have hardly gone up at all, and other areas might have gone up a lot. So it's, you know, the 5% sounds great a year, but it's, you know, it depends really where you are. In the last property recession, I've got 30 odd flats in Brighton. And in the last property recession, 2008, 2009, Brighton prices never went down. Yet other places I owned went down 30%.
Wow.
And some have not even come back to where they were in 2007 yet.
Yeah.
So you've got to do your research. You've got to be careful where you buy. So that's what I do with 30 grand. What's my next amount? How much more? What else have I got to spend?
100K.
100K. Oh, right. Okay. Now, with 100,000, I would definitely buy a property for 200,000. I'd put 70% loan to value. I'd have the cash left to refurbish it and flog it and try and make 20-25% net profit.
Okay. And last one is $1 million cash.
Oh, $1 million, even better. So, okay, well, it's funny actually, because that's exactly what I'm trying to, I'm trying to do at the moment is this. So I'm trying to buy portfolios because residential portfolios to then break up and resell individually. So I might buy a block of say 20 flats, 15 flats. I'm being a bit ambitious there probably, which have got probably a 30% discount in bulk, and then I'd sell them off individually for the full price on each one. That's what I would try if I had $1 million, and it's still tough at the moment. But I think I'm not. And by the way, when you're doing that, don't worry about the yield. I'm not interested in the yield, and people can't understand that. All these property sorcerers I talk to these days on LinkedIn and all these other things, they say, "Oh, what yield do you want?" I don't care. I'm not bothered about the yield, but they just don't understand it because I'm just going to split them up individually. Title splits is what the new term is for that, I think. Split the titles and sell them off individually. There might be a block of houses, there might be a block of flats. Very straightforward, super safe, and of course you have got income in the meantime to cover any interest payments as well.
Good. That's a very, very good answer, John. And I guess for $1 million, you kind of need to go somewhere outside of London to be able to buy portfolios of residential properties. What kind of locations would you say are ideal for that sort of thing?
But yeah, well, the one thing I'd always say is during and I appreciate the market at the moment is fairly good, but I appreciate that. But I would always say about a property recession or when things slow down is that you can afford to buy in better areas than you did before. So for instance, last year, people might have thought, well, the only property I can buy in my price range, problem with it, and that's why it's just about affordable. Well, now you haven't got to worry about problems, because you don't need to buy a property with problems, and you certainly don't need to buy them in a poor area, in a worse area than you want to buy it. Try and pick the best areas, because the best areas of any town will always come up first. They will always improve first, and the capital value will appreciate quicker. So always try and pick better area, more affluent areas if you can, because it's safer. It's safer. There's no point taking silly risks. When the market is hot, you take your risks because the market's going up and everyone thinks they're very clever. When the market is difficult, you don't need to take and you don't need to take risks. So pick an area that is as good an area as you can afford. And certainly, in my experience, the very last areas to go up in value in the UK are normally the very first to come down.
Yeah. So pretty much the London markets are the most liquid, so they'll probably be the most affected by.
Yeah, I mean, the London market, I agree. If you've only got $1 million to spend to buy a portfolio, you're not going to buy them in London. I understand that completely. And over the years, I would say, if I was being, what's the word? My career, how could I have done better? I could have done a lot better. We all do a lot better. But the one thing I would have done, I suppose, in retrospectively, is try to buy properties in London. And London is where I've never really approached a few, but not really done it seriously, because I've always felt I could spread my money around the country better and it'll be safer. And of course, in a way, that's worked because I've survived through recessions. So, around the UK, and in the 1990s, East Anglia went down 35%, whereas Birmingham only went down 15%, and the north probably a bit. It's probably not a bad thing.